What is up guys, George right here, welcome to FC365 TV. Today we're talking about iOS 9.3.1 release from Apple. So allegedly they decided to release a new version of iOS 9.3, which is iOS 9.3.1, after they messed up a lot with their iOS 9.3 pre-release that actually introduced a very strange bug that crashed applications and made them not to open anymore after you open links in Safari. So this is a very small update they created, but contains a lot of fixes they are not talking about. So what's the issue? This is not a huge update as you probably got used to from Apple that downloads in hours. It's just a small update waiting about, I don't know, 34 megabits or something like that. And it doesn't even have a featured page, like as you can see, like this iOS 9.3 has, but it's still a version, as you can see, for iPhone 6 and 6 Plus and 6S Plus and so on, and iPhone SE, which is the newest model from Apple, introduced by the 21 March event called Let's Loop You In. And as you can see, there is iOS 9.3 and 9.3.1, which, as you can see, the 9.3 has the build 13E23 and the iOS 9.3.1 has the build 13E238. Both called Eagle and both having the same baseband 4.71.0.0. And the release date, as you can see, there are two different iOS versions due to the hash, and of course because of this release date, 21 March 2016, 31 March 2016. So yesterday. What's the issue with this thing? They actually fixed, allegedly, the Safari bug crashing the applications after using it, but of course they did not, well, at least not for all devices, because on their forums, on their community support forums, whatever you call them, there are a lot of people complaining that iOS 9.3.1 in fact doesn't fix the bug with Safari and applications and might require them to do a full restore. Now, doing a full restore, you probably know, might kill your applications, your scores at games, your pictures and so on, and you have to take everything from zero. Of course, you have the ability to create a backup, but there is a problem with backups too. So what I want you to do is not to update to iOS 9.3.1 for the moment if you have that problem and you updated, because creating a backup in iTunes from iOS 9.3 and after that running it on iOS 9.3.1 is impossible due to a strange error. So if you create a backup of your device, of your data in iOS 9.3 and you install iOS 9.3.1, which allegedly fixed the bug in Safari, and after all you're trying to restore back your data from iOS 9.3, then it won't work, and it will say, iTunes will say something that the backup is corrupted or it's not compatible with the iOS version you're trying to restore. Therefore, you will be locked out of your data. So let's take a look on what iOS 9.3 release fixes in a matter of bugs and exploits. So first of all, we have Apple USB networking, which is available from iPhone 4S and later, and as well as iPod Touch 5th generation and iPad 2. And in fact, a USB device may be able to cause a denial of service. A denial of service, or DDoS, which is a very strange attack to a website or a server location, is it's a very serious thing. It might render legal issues and so on. It's actually the idea of taking a website down by creating a lot of packets, a lot of requests to that website till that website refuses to work anymore and the server get overloaded. So it's something kinda bad. So the next one is front parser, and opening maliciously crafted PDF file may lead to an unexpected application termination or arbitrary code execution. But Apple, this is happening since the first iOS version. So as you can see, again, the very known PDF exploitation, which was present, as I said, till the first version of iOS and seems to be present to iOS 9.3 too. A memory corruption issue was addressed through improved memory handling. They have the same statement for anytime they find something that might allow an exploit. They're not very good at saying things. HTTP protocol available for iPhone 4S and later, and so on. A remote attacker may be able to execute arbitrary code. Are you sure about it? Probably this is one of the bugs that were found and sold online for I don't know, $1 million and so on. If you still remember, there was a bounty for the one who can find an exploit that can remotely execute arbitrary code and render to a jailbreak back in I don't know, in December. I think it was in December, in January, something like that. It was a bounty from I no longer remember the name of the company, but they say that they will give a bounty for the one who find it. Age ID family. Impact. An application may be able to determine kernel memory layout. If only Apple would know till when this thing happens. Okay, kernel. Impact. An application may be able to cause a denial of service again, and a user after fee issue was addressed through improved memory management. An application may be able to bypass code signing. Oh well, this one is very important, and as you can see, there are a lot of bugs that could have rendered a jailbreak, but they did not. So an application may be able to execute arbitrary code with kernel privileges. An application may be able to execute arbitrary code again with privileges. There are a lot of kernel exploits, as you can see here, and I'm really afraid for Pangu because those exploits weren't patched in the iOS 9.3 betas when they started to look for potential exploits for their 9.3 jailbreak. But with all these kernel exploits patched, I'm really afraid that they patched something important for Pangu team. Hopefully not. And of course, the list continues. As you can see, it's a huge list of patching. Apple took patching exploits seriously, and it seems they are very concerned in this process. Well, about Pangu, they still did not release Pangu jailbreak for iOS 9.3, which is kind of strange. But of course, they still have time. I think they still have a week from the time frame usually it takes a jailbreaker to create a jailbreak, which is 2 weeks. But for the moment, we see no releases nor any discussions on their Twitter, which makes me think that iOS 9.3.1 might have killed one of the exploits or many of the exploits. But there is still nothing about the exploitation status. There's still nothing about the exploits being patched from Pangu officials. If we go to the changelog, they actually talk about the latest version, so there is nothing about the idea of jailbreaking being killed in iOS 9.3.1, but hopefully it won't be. So this is basically it about iOS 9.3.1. If you just want to update it, update for fixing the Apple crash bug, then you might have a chance, but as people reported, this iOS 9.3.1 is more for the eye of the public, and it's not something that really works well, at least not on all devices. Also, what I wanted to talk with you is about the iPhone 5 SE, or iPhone SE, however it's known, which is basically an iPhone 5S with the new colors and probably with a new microchip. Yep, the iPhone SE makes use of Apple A9 processor and is manufactured by Samsung and TSMC, and of course it's something new from Apple, created for those with smaller hands. It comes with the iPhone 6, 6S, whatever colors, such as space gray, silver, gold, and rose gold, which of course aren't the colors of iPhone 5S, they are colors of iPhone 6 and so on. And in terms of display, it has a 4.0 inch display and a pretty small resolution if you ask me, LED backlight, IPS display, and RAM is 2 GB, voice assistant Siri as usual, connector is still Lightning connector, and SIM card is nano SIM. Of course, the rear camera is 12 megapixel with autofocus and manual focus, supporting 4K, which is something new, HD, and probably VGA, but who cares about VGA anymore. Front camera is 1.2 megapixel, photos and videos around 30 frame per second. FaceTime video calls supported. So there's nothing very big in this iPhone, just about colors, it's just about a new processor and a new RAM. Of course, they are both important, and of course the camera, which now supports 4K at this resolution, it's important, but it's not something that's worth the money, if you ask me. Well, this iPhone was introduced during the Let's Loop You In event in March 2016 on 21, and it's the same time when they discussed about iOS 9.3 and they released iOS 9.3 final version after 6 betas. And they also introduced a new update for iTunes, which of course is aimed to support this new device, as the iTunes you had till the March event didn't support this new device. Therefore, they had to issue a new update in order to get support for iPhone SE. So if you bought yourself an iPhone SE, you have to update your iTunes to the latest version, which I have no idea what version is. I don't know why it didn't show the icon right here. But I actually used the Apple software update, but didn't seem to work, so you better update it manually. So that's about iOS 9.3.1. In my opinion, you shouldn't update for it. You shouldn't update to iOS 9.3 by now. You should stay to iOS 9.2.1 if you're still on iOS 9.2.1, because Pang might drop a jailbreak for it. There are chances. They dropped an iOS 9.1 jailbreak when in fact iOS 9.3 was coming fast, and yeah, they're pretty much strange at releasing and time frames. So you better stay to iOS 9.2.1 if you are on iOS 9.2.1. If you are on iOS 9.3, do not update to iOS 9.3.1 if you don't expect any more bugs and so on, because it's not that good. So this is basically it about iOS 9.3.1, about iPhone SE, and about the jailbreak status. I'm George. Till the next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And more important, share this video with your friends and let them know about iPhone SE and about iOS 9.3.1, especially if they are iOS fans. And don't forget to check out my Android-related channel if you're an Android fan, where you can learn how to customize your Android at its finest. And till the next time, like, share, and subscribe. I'm George, and peace out.